There we go. Okay, good evening, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for hopping on. My name is CJ Weiss. I'm a proud independent consultant and area manager with Arbonne. I am joined with one of my sidelines, Casey O'Connor Kelly, and we're going to dive into Arbonne a little bit and just share. If you're on, you've probably seen us talk about the products. So we're going to touch on some products, but we're definitely going to dive deep into the business side of Arbonne and what that can mean for you, what that can help maybe impact your household, your life, and why now is maybe one of the most perfect times to be joining Arbonne. So I'm going to kind of turn it over to Casey. I'll let you tell a little bit about you, then I'll tell a little bit about me, and we're going to kick off. So Casey,
Okay.
go ahead. Tell them
Yes.
who you are and why you're here.
Sounds good. I feel like Arbonne finds everyone in different ways. And it found me in 2019. I was just scrolling Instagram as you do. At the time, I was an Irish dance teacher. I owned my own Irish dancing studio. And a fellow Irish dance teacher who I really respected because she won our competition every year as kids. She made one post about this 30-day nutrition program. And she was like, my skin is glowing. I have all this energy. I can see my abs again. And I was like, what? And I was getting married that summer. So I didn't know what Arbonne was. I didn't know what the products were. I didn't know what the program was. I was like, I just want all those things that you said this did for you. So I signed up, ordered the 30 days. And for anyone who doesn't know, it's where you eliminate gluten, dairy, soy, coffee, and alcohol for 30 days. And then Arbonne provides protein powders and energy fizz to replace the coffee and probiotics and different things to support you along your clean eating journey. And this was my first real nutrition like experience, I guess, besides the food pyramid in elementary school. So I was very strict with the program because my wedding was at the end of this. So 2 weeks in, I was babysitting these kids and they wanted grilled cheese. And I make like a bomb grilled cheese. And I was like, I've done so well. Like I'm going to treat myself to this grilled cheese. So I ate it, and like within the hour, I could feel what it was doing to my body. Like my body was just overcome with extreme fatigue, and I had to lay down. I was babysitting three kids, but I was like, you guys, you have to go, whatever. I need to lay down because I can't function. And that was such like an aha moment for me because prior to all of this, I'd been to my doctor for chronic fatigue, and she was testing my blood and doing different things. And basically she was like, there's nothing wrong with you, but she never asked me what I was eating, right? And I was eating gluten, dairy, soy, coffee, alcohol. Like I was doing all of that. So needless to say, I finished the 30-day nutrition program. We had an amazing wedding and honeymoon. And then as soon as we came back, I'm on the computer, back on Arbonne's website, because I was like, I need the protein, I need the fizz, like I need all of this like for the rest of my life. Like I knew it was going to be a part of my day to day. And as I'm checking out, somewhere on the website, it said something about 35% discount if you're a consultant. So I was just like, yep, sure. I was like, Jesse made a post, I can make a post, whatever. I had no idea like what Arbonne was or what the business was or any of it. And I basically dabbled in Arbonne for like 5 years, in and out. Flash forward, we got married, we had a baby, and my priorities started to shift. Like I didn't want to be at the dance school for 5 nights a week, weekends. Like I wanted to be home with my baby, and I cried every time I had to leave him. So when he was 5 months old, I sold my dance school. I got my real estate license because for some reason I thought that would be easier than running a dance studio. In some aspects, it was like I brought my baby with me to like most of the things I was doing in real estate. But by the time I had my second baby, I was like, real estate, it just is not my thing either. So in our family, we decided I was going to just be a stay-at-home mom. When our kids would go back to school, I'm going back to work. But when my second was about 5 months old, I was like, I need something to do. Like momming is hard, and that is a full-time job. But I needed something, and I was craving something that was mine that I could bring in an income because I was not used to not having like my own income. Something that was flexible. I didn't want to have to be on the phone. I didn't want to have overhead. I didn't want to have, all of the things that like a brick and mortar business would have. And then like one day I was just like, hello, like duh, it's been in front of you this entire time. It's Arbonne. So I messaged Sandy, who's my mentor, and I was like, Sandy, I think I'm ready to do Arbonne like for real, like for actual real. And I think 4 months after I became serious, I promoted to the first like tier of Arbonne, which we'll kind of talk about a little bit. And I think that's kind of me in a nutshell, I guess. And
I
yeah,
love
so
it.
now I'm like just over a year and a half that I've been like actually taking it seriously.
I love it. I love it. Okay, awesome. And Casey and I we met in person at a retreat this year. And it's just one of the things like, as you're listening to this, yes, there's an income attached to this. Yes, there are amazing products that are going to change your life. But meeting people and finding the community of Arbonne is in itself life changing. Casey and I probably never would have met each other. Maybe on social media we might have interacted, but the Arbonne community just brings together people that are, yes, health and wellness focused, but people that are good humans. Like I've never met a bad human in Arbonne. So if you're looking for community, this could be the spot for you. If you don't know my voice, my name is CJ. Again, I am an area manager with Arbonne, and my short story is I had a 10-year restaurant career. I was a GM. I was making over 100 grand. COVID happened, and I have a husband. We were fostering a little boy, and during COVID, my husband was working from home, and the bond, so kind of like Casey, the bond of like my son and my husband, that bond was like seemingly becoming inseparable. As the world shut down, I'm still going to this restaurant. I went from a staff of 100 down to a staff of five and still working 50, 60-hour weeks, missing like all those like parenting moments with my kid. And after 10 years, I walked away from a $100,000 job. I went into fitness. I've always loved working out. I've loved getting myself healthy, in shape, whatever. I've run half marathons, you name it. And so I wanted to be able to help other people get healthy, especially coming out of COVID. But my income went from 100 to like 30. And Arbonne literally fell in my lap through a networking group. I was introduced to the person who brought me into it. And she's like, just try the products. She's like, you don't have to sell them. Just try them and see what happens. I'm kind of like the anomaly. I signed up to be a consultant as I bought my 30-day to healthy living set, the same one Casey tried. And I'm like, I'm never going to sell this stuff. I don't believe in this. I'm going to get 35, actually like 40, 50% off my nutrition set. And I'm just going to walk away. And that was 4 years ago. And here we are, like my husband still jokes, like I'm selling lotions and potions for a living. And it is that, but beyond. So we've talked about who we are. What is Arbonne? So Arbonne is, at the end of the day, it's a health and wellness company. We've been around for 45 years, so we are not some fly-by-night company. You can probably get on Amazon and see tons of companies that are like trying to sell you greens or trying to sell you protein. And ultimately, you have no idea where those products come from, if you can trust who's selling them. With Arbonne, you're not going to find any of our products on Amazon or Walmart or Sephora. You're only going to come in contact with Arbonne products through a face of someone you know, like, and trust. And that is why this business is so meaningful, because yes, you might not buy it from me locally, but you're supporting a local person. You're supporting Casey. And I think as you're starting to see already, you can be one of dozens of kinds of like industry jobs, faces, and do this alongside your other career. So we're going to dive more into the business, but that is just kind of a little bit about Arbonne, about building a stronger body, a stronger mind, getting radiant skin. Like if any of these things are a problem, drop it in the chat. I'm going to ask if I know there's only a couple of us on right now, but if you're able to type, put it in the chat where you're from, and put it in the chat if you're like on a health and wellness journey. What does that look like? Is it weight loss? Is it bloating? Is it gut issues? We're going to touch on all these things. So drop it in the chat, or if you're watching this afterwards, drop it in the comments so we can help find that perfect pair for you. Okay, so Casey, I know you and I both touched on the 30 days to healthy living. Talk to us about the rest of the products. Like what is Arbonne? What do Arbonne products mean to you?
So it's funny. I was thinking about this earlier about how Arbonne, I think, has more products than people realize, but we have like our like very popular items, like we mentioned the protein, like the 30 days to healthy living. Nutrition is how I got into Arbonne, but we also have skincare, makeup, and like a number of other random things like toothpaste and deodorant. And um, I started with the nutrition, of course, over the last 6 years. Like I started to realize and learn like how important ingredients are, not just like in and on my body, but now especially like for my kids and like what makes their eczema flare up or doesn't. And so for me, I like that I can just go to Arbonne's website and I can trust their ingredient policy and know that it's not just going to be safe, but it's actually going to be beneficial. It's funny, I never was like a skincare person. I would maybe wash my face like in the shower. But after learning about skincare and learning about what the skin does and how to take care of it, I am like doing the whole like regimen every single night and sometimes every morning because I understand now. Like it's educational. But everything in Arbonne is vegan. It's cruelty free, formulated without gluten, dairy, soy, no artificial anything in Arbonne. It's all plant based, and it's held to very high, clean, strict standards. And another thing I love too, not that I've had to do this, but Arbonne has a 90-day money back guarantee. So you could literally try something for 3 months, like it, not like it, send them the empty box back, and they will give you your money back, like without question. I think they know that it doesn't happen very often because like most people I know have like not sent anything back because they end up really liking it. But I just like that Arbonne does the right things for the right reasons, and they're empowering us to be able to decide and make the decisions for ourselves on like what works for us and what doesn't work for us. Um, it's
100%.
yeah. And
Yeah.
speaking of
I,
empowering people,
yeah,
you can.
yeah. So I've been in Arbonne 4 years and I've had 3 returns in 4 years. So if that tells you people love our products and they do trust them, they do know they're going to do what they say they're going to do because we do clinical testing. So I will always be upfront and completely transparent. We are not the cheapest thing on the market. And if you want the cheapest thing on the market, great, you can find cheaper. You're not going to find better. And that's where the difference lies. We do clinical testing. We try all of our products on humans. We're cruelty free. So we test everything on a human in a lab. So we know it's going to do what we say it's going to do, or we don't put it on the bottle, the box, the label, the website. So that's why people love these products and keep using them. That is one of the biggest selling points of starting an Arbonne business. So I want to touch on that. All of our products are consumable. So Casey mentioned, and I put it in the chat, we have over 400 different products: toothpaste, deodorant, protein powder, skincare, cosmetics, foundation. All of those things you might already have in your house. All of those things run out. So once people love Arbonne, they get hooked on the products, and what do? They go back and they reorder. And now is the perfect time to be getting into health and wellness. In 2020, the global health and wellness spend was $2.8 trillion in 2020. Right now, it's over $6 trillion. And in 2028, so less than 3 years away, the projection is $9 trillion global spending on health, wellness, fitness, skincare, clean. You like if it's in that genre, this is where people are spending money. So it makes sense to start a business where people are spending money already. And we're not asking anyone to buy a house. We're not asking anyone to take out a mortgage to start a brick and mortar, to sell, products in a store. This is all click and order. So people can go to your website and for $65, you can register your Arbonne business. The day you register, your website is ready to go. People can order from you. They are being impacted. They are already getting clean health and beauty products. You can instantly start collecting a commission. This is something most people work alongside their other job. So Casey was in real estate. She was in other careers. I did a restaurant manager. I'm a fitness coach right now. the amount of hours I put into Arbonne pales in comparison to the amount of time I'm in the gym. The reason I'm building this and the reason most people build this business is because if I'm not in the gym, if you're not selling a house, you're not making any money. This is the kind of income that can become a legacy that you can pass down to children, your children's children, and it can be a lifestyle changing style type of income. Most people, like I said, work alongside their other job. People start it while they're in college, work alongside their other school schedule. You filter this in ways that your upline, your whoever brings you in, is going to teach you, train you, mentor you, and you're getting all this free training to learn how to make money, to learn how to build a business, and you're getting the community to go right along with it. It's brilliant. You can earn rewards, incentives. We're going to talk about that next or shortly. But the opportunity here is unreal. I was going to touch on something else and I just lost it. So that's okay. I'm going to pass it back to Casey. Do you want to talk about like some of our certifications?
Sure. Oh, my husband, he has his headphones on. He can't hear either. But yes, bless you, Joe. Yeah, so certifications. So again, like before Arbonne, and I don't know if I would have come into this anyway, like on my health and wellness journey, but I didn't know anything about ingredients or certifications or any of that. And we are certified gluten-free, vegan, cruelty-free, kosher, halal. What's the sports one? There's like a sports, tons of sports.
BSGC.
Yeah,
I
but
don't know what
I
it
don't
stands
know.
for, but it's
It's
basically like Olympic athletes could take our products because we are certified by the board of like Olympic games that it won't test them out for like enhancement, performance enhancement.
right. And then my favorite one is B Corp certification. So I didn't know what B Corp was. And then, of course, Arbonne was like, we become B Corp. And I'm like, what does that mean? And essentially, it means that companies that can earn the certification, they have to go through rigorous sort of testing, but they hold their company to certain standards. So Arbonne puts people and planet right up there with their profit. So like most companies and businesses are in it for the profit, and then like the people and the planet are kind of like who knows, like whether they care or not. But Arbonne is going to make sure that the ingredients, for example, like if there's something like avocado oil in the protein, they're going to make sure that these avocados are harvested from a farm where their farmers are paid properly and that they're in, being treated fairly. So it goes all the way down. So and then we have recycling program too. So not everything can just be recycled in the regular recycle, but Arbonne has their own recycling program. So if that is important to you, I have this huge bag of empty like fizz stick wrappers that I've been collecting that I'm going to mail to Arbonne so they can recycle them. But I just think that's really cool. So now, not just with Arbonne, when I'm out shopping, like I have, those little like baby pouches that like kids drink. I found one that's B Corp, and I'm like, that's the one I'm going to buy because I understand what that means. So I've been finding B Corp companies around too. So Arbonne has again educated me in another way and like is changing the way that I consume things and like allow my family to consume certain things. So the certifications, like I think sometimes people kind of just are like, oh, whatever, but they mean a lot when you really look into it.
Yep, for sure. I'm going to ask some like hypothetical, some rhetorical questions. And once we get into like the income, I want you to drop in the chat like if I'm not asking you to say you're struggling, but if money to put gas in the gas tank, if groceries on the table, replacing a paycheck, replacing a car payment, a mortgage, if those are something that could help impact your life, drop that in the chat. But while you're thinking about those things, what if you had just an opportunity to create more income with a little bit of work? And there is work involved. I'm not going to tell you this is overnight riches. There's work involved, but if you're looking to grow something that can change your life and help impact the planet and your friends, your family in a positive way, what would that look like? What if you could build your own business? Have you ever thought about that? What if you got to choose who you work with? What if you got to set your own schedule? Some people, and we're going to talk about like the levels, and the level people walk away from a job. What if you could set your own schedule and walk away from a job? That's kind of like the dream now, right? The old American dream of working 9 to 5 for 40 to 50 hours a week for 40 to 50 years. That American dream, that's not my dream anymore. That sounds more like a nightmare, right? Like stuck in a rat race, stuck in the job. I want something more. If that's you, drop that in the chat. So can you actually? I think I'll talk. You want me to talk about the money, or you want to talk about how we earn?
You can keep going, CJ.
Okay. So when we how do we earn? That's what everyone wants to know, right? Like, how do you actually earn money? So I don't ever think of myself as a salesman, a salesperson, but we do sell products, right? I send someone to a website, they buy it, I get a commission. It's kind of that simple. But how do I get people in front of products? There's tons of ways to do that. I am actually great at having in-person events. So I will have people over, we'll demo the skincare, or I'll have a healthy happy hour. I'll have people over, demo the nutrition products, let them try the greens, let them try the fizz. People love them, they buy them. Casey, and I don't know if she's on left to you, but she's left to me. Casey's big on social media, and a lot of people can sell on social media. Some people are one-on-one. They want to meet belly up, go out to coffee, build a relationship. There's that way of selling. But at the end of the day, all we're all doing is sharing products. And when we share products, if you buy them, we do earn a commission. And that helps our household, that helps our family sustain, to thrive. So we earn commissions. Some people do just that. Some people don't want to build a team, but that's what separates us from a regular direct selling company. Direct sales means you can sell and that's it, that your commission stops there. We can build a team. So if someone's on my team, it's basically like I have a Starbucks franchise. I want to grow my franchise, so I start a new location, meaning I have someone else join my team. When they join, I teach them, I train them, I mentor them. They're part of the community. When they sell to their clients, they get a commission. Because I taught them and trained them, Arbonne gives me a bonus. We call that an override. So I get a monthly override on any of my team's sales. If they start building a team, they're getting a commission and they're getting an override. So it is mutually beneficial for us all to help each other succeed. Because unlike companies back in the day, we do not get paid to recruit. If someone on this call joins my team or joins Casey's team, we get nothing. And that's the way it should be. I should not be rewarded for recruiting someone onto my team. I only succeed, Casey only succeeds if you are successful in starting your actual business and selling and sharing products. So I love that. The third way we get paid is we get bonuses. They are, we call them achiever awards. They can be $100, $200, $400, $600 cash bonuses. We can also earn a white Mercedes. We can earn a incentive trip. So this year, someone on this call just earned Tulum, Mexico. So like people on our team are thriving and growing, earning Mercedes, earning incentive trips. And not everybody does. You can visit earnings.arma.com to see what's probable, but to see what's possible, talk to one of us because we are the ones that are going to show you what we do to help you survive and thrive. Okay, so I'm going to let Casey talk a little bit about, we're not going to talk about like what the ranks are, but what does it look like to earn? What kind of money could people earn?
Sure. So I also, it's funny you compared it to Starbucks franchise because I always compare it to real estate now because it's so similar, like the way that it could be tiered and structured. It's just like, oh, realtor team. If you're in real estate,
Yep.
you could literally do nothing and make no money if you're not working. Or you could be, killing it even when everyone says the market's terrible. Oh my gosh, we have 10 minutes left. Okay.
Yep. We're
Um,
good.
right.
Won't
So
take
when
that
you
long.
first start, again, it's like what you put into it is what you get out of it. I promoted to there's like 4 tiers. I promoted to the first tier like a year ago, probably. And I've kind of just been like in that level, like trying to work my way up to the next one. So in the first kind of tier, you can earn anywhere from like $200 to $400 a month. That's usually like what the average is. The next one up, it's anywhere from $1,200 to $4,000 a month. Like again, like depending on what efforts you're putting into. That level two is actually willable. So God forbid something happened to your at that level, right, CJ, area manager.
Yep.
If God forbid something happened to CJ, he can will his business to his son. So like people just CJ isn't here anymore. They're still gonna wash their hair and they're still gonna wash their face and they're still gonna drink their fizzies. Like they're still gonna be ordering under his account and he'll be able to pass that on to his family. The tier above that, that's what we call the Mercedes level because that's where Arbonne will pay for you to have a white Mercedes Benz. And people in that level are earning anywhere between like $4,000 a month to $14,000 a month. Again, like depending on how long they've been in it and what efforts they're putting into it. So again, like kind of start at the beginning, like what would $100 a month do for you? That I remember Sandy telling me that. I'm like, oh, that's like a trip to the grocery store. But yeah, that's sort
Yep.
of the general
Yep.
tier of
And
what
like
people are
there's
making.
multiple ways to get there. It can take someone 3 years to get to the top of the chain. It can take 10 years. It's your journey for what you want it to be. Some people don't want any of that. Some people just want to make enough to cover their own products. And we're here for all of that. So random, is there a specific reason for a white Mercedes? I actually don't. There we
Oh, I
go.
know.
Yes.
I do know why.
Sure.
I know why. Do you know why?
Hit me.
Okay, so Petter Mork, he's the founder of Pure. Yeah, he's the founder of
Yeah.
Arbonne, and
There
he
we
was in
go.
a car. He was in a car accident, and he was driving a Mercedes. I don't know if it was white, but he believes that the Mercedes was just what saved him because it was a safe car. So that's the reason it's a Mercedes. And then Marnie says white because of it being pure and Arbonne's pure ingredients and the standards and everything in Arbonne is safe, pure, and beneficial. So he kind of saw that within this white Mercedes, and that's why.
I love it. I love that. So we've kind of touched on a lot. Like this call is not meant to like, oh, you're going to sign up right now. You're going to buy products right now. But I would say like, go back to the person who invited you to this call and touch base with them. There's two or really three, 2.5 ways to get started with Arbonne. We talk about becoming a preferred client. This is like getting a membership. You pay once for the year and there's no required spending. There's no required shipping. We're not going to ding your credit card every month. Like we're just not one of those garbage companies. Um, but that membership, $29 for the year, it's actually free this month if you put in a 150 order. But that $29 gets you 20 to 40% of products all year long. So there's that option. Most people start as a preferred client, love the products, and then we talk about upgrading later. Some people, if they're a little different, like me, jump into the business. Like I said, it's $65. Again, it's a one-time for the year, annual fee. Your website's ready. You can start earning commission that day. And we encourage people, you don't have to ever buy anything from Arbonne. But I'm only going to buy something from someone that I know, like, and trust. So if I know someone's never tried the products, I'm probably not going to believe that person. So yes, you can sign up for $65. We will, coach you on what products might be best for you to get your business started so you can talk passionately about them. But that's the second way. The third way, if you're like, I either can't spend money, I'm not spending money, or I don't know enough yet to dive in, talk to whoever invited you to this call, ask them about hosting. So if you get a few people together, we will come do a demo, do some kind of presentation. We will always gift you. So you're getting free products. We're going to pamper your friends, take care of them. And it's a win-win for everybody because ultimately we grow by getting in front of other people. And if you can be a connector, a host, event coordinator, whatever you want to call it, that helps us grow. So I'm going to leave it at that. Casey, anything else you want to touch on?
I don't think so. She's such a nice, slow speaker. I feel like I'm like, and then you're like, so calm and peaceful.
And
But this was so
I
much
feel like
fun.
I feel like I'm a million miles a minute. Come on, get the information out there. Anyway,
This was
does
so
anyone have
fun.
any questions? I know we've answered a couple things in the chat. Okay. All right. Thank you all for your time. Your time is the most valuable thing you can offer to us. So thank you for that. Again, touch base with the consultant that brought you on. If you're watching this hindsight, check in with one of us. We would love to just help consult and see if the products or the business are the best route to go. Other than that, have a great night. We will see you all soon.
Thank you
Peace.
guys. Bye.